morning, children, and we're having a good time at home, I'm sure, and of course the school homework too. Yes. So children, today I'm going to introduce letter S to you, but before we start with the letter S, I want you to say your ABC with me, okay? Now, let's say it together. We'll sing it in the song form, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z, sugar on the bread. If you don't like it, you may go to bed. Early in the morning, come to me, and I shall teach you A, B, C. That's it, children. You've done a good job. You want to have a clap? The ducks clap? All right, let's do it. Quack, 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 and clap. Yes. Now, before we begin with the various objects that begin with S, I'm going to teach you how to write it. Now, you all know how to write number 8, right? So, what we are going to do is, we will make half a circle, like we do for number 8, then ulta half a circle, and there we are. We've written an S. Once again, how will we do it? Half a circle, then ulta half a circle, and we've written an S. Now, what are the things that begin with S? We are going to check that out, okay? I'll write S here again so that you can see it, right? So, the first one is S says sir, so ship. S-H-I-P, ship. Now, all of you look at the ship here. This ship, where does it sail? It sails in the water, okay? And you can go to whichever place you want. Like you can go to America, you can go to Canada, you can go to Africa. To any of these places you can go in a ship. So the ship sails in the water. Now the second one, which begins with S, says sir, snake. Now you look at the snake. It is a cobra, yes, and it has a hood. And what does it do? It stings. So you have to be very careful. Never go near a snake. Don't even try and stamp a snake. A snake is a dangerous reptile. So S, sir, what is this? This is a snake. Okay? Now the next one. Now children, there are so many things that begin with S that we wear in our feet. The first one is socks. Now, you see this pair of socks? Yes, where do you wear it? You wear it in your feet, and you get socks of various colors. And especially in winter, your mummy will always tell you, "Beta, you must wear your socks." Now, what else do we wear in our feet? We wear socks, we wear shoes. S. Mummy wears shoes, daddy wears shoes, you wear shoes. So, shoes are to be worn in the feet when we go out. Yes. You can also wear sandals. Sandals, yes. I like to wear sandals, and I'm sure you like to wear sandals too. Now, when you wear a sandal, this sandal is also worn in your feet. So you wore shoes, you wore socks, you wore sandals, and when you're in the house, what does mommy always tell you? Don't move barefooted in the house. You must wear your slippers. Yes, these are the slippers which we must wear so that our feet don't get dirty. So what are the things we wear in our feet that begin with S? Shoes, socks, slippers and sandals. So there are 4 things that we can wear in our feet that begin with the letter S. Okay? The next thing that begins with S is a stool, children. Yes. Sometimes what happens, we put S a stool, we may slip it under the chair, or when you're in school, especially when you were in, the preparatory school, there you must have had to sit on stools and mats, or you may have put your books on the stool to write on, or you may have worked on the stool, or sometimes, yes, your mummy may stand on a stool to remove the curtain. Yes? So S, a stool. This is a stool. And one more thing that begins with S, and that is smoke. Those of you who live in Jamshedpur, disco works. Don't you see the smoke coming out of the chimney? So this is a chimney, and you will be able to see smoke coming out of the chimney. There is one more thing that begins with S, and that is a swan. Yes, it looks like a duck. Look at this one. It looks like a duck, and it has a long neck, and swans are normally white in color, and they look very pretty. And you know what noise they make? Quack, quack, quack. That's the noise that they make. And if you see a swan, please don't think that it is a duck. A duck is smaller than a swan. A swan is big, and it has a long neck. And normally you find swans in water. They rarely come out. Okay? Now there are 2 things that your mummy wears that begin with S. One is a sari, and when she goes out, she wears the most beautiful sari, especially when she goes for a wedding reception or there is some function in the house. That's the time mummy wears a beautiful sari. And another one is a salwar kameez. She also wears a salwar kameez. So we've just seen there are 4 things that you wear in your feet: socks, shoes, sandals, slippers. There are 2 things that mummy wears. One is a sari and the other is a salwar kameez. Now, your daddy writes something that begins with S, and it has 2 wheels. Cycle doesn't begin with S, it's a scooter. Yes. Now you see the scooter? S, a scooter. And your daddy rides it when he goes to office, or when you want to go to the market with your daddy makes you sit at the back and you'll nicely go for a scooter ride to the market. Now, the next thing that begins with S is your scissors. Now, the scissors that you see here, they are the big scissors. And what are these scissors used for? You can use scissors for cutting cloth. You can use scissors. The barber uses the scissors to clip your hair. And you can also cut paper with a pair of scissors, especially when you are doing some craft. So we've seen that that even a pair of scissors, and you don't just say scissors, yes? What do we say? A pair of scissors. Remember this. Next is a spoon. Now there are different kinds of spoons. There is a soup spoon, there is a teaspoon, and you may also use a tablespoon, especially when you are eating with a fork and a knife. So these are the different types of spoons. One is a teaspoon, alright? One is a tablespoon and the other is a soup spoon. So there are three types of spoons. And we also have a spoon for serving, okay? So these are the spoons that you will be seeing. Yes, a spoon. Now earlier, when we did shapes, if you remember, we spoke about sandwiches. And sandwich. Now what's the shape of a sandwich? The shape of a sandwich that you see here is like a triangle. A sandwich has the shape of a triangle, and you can make different kinds of sandwiches. You love sandwiches, don't you? So a sandwich. Now you have all been to the seashore, I'm sure. You've been to the seashore? Puri beach? Yes. So there, what will you see? You will see shells. Shells. Now this shell that you see here, you get different sizes. You get big shells, you get small shells. And I remember when I was a child, when I went to the beach, I took a plastic bag and I would collect different kinds of shells. So what for shell? Shell. Okay? Now the next one. Is soap. These days everybody tells you, when you come from outside, go and wash your hands with soap. Soap. Now this is very important, especially during these days when, due to corona, when you go out and you come into the house, your mommy says, will you go and wash your hands with soap? Because we have to kill all the germs that are on our hands. So soap. Sometimes you may see this in your garden, and it is called as a snail. Snail. You know what a snail in Hindi? We call it kokalgai. Yes, it's a snail. And look at the snail. It has got a shell on top, and it has a sticky long body. And what you do, the snail is a very creepy little creature, and it moves very, very slow, and it goes like this. Yes, with its shell on its body. So you may see it in your garden sometime during the monsoons. Yes, or if you go to the fish market. Yes, you may see snails there. The fisherwomen, they crack the snails and remove the shells and keep the body on one side. So snail. Now, this is something that you see in the sky. S for sky and S for sun. Yes, in the sky you see the sun, and the sun is very hot. And when do you see the sun? You see the sun shining brightly in the morning. So the sky and the sun both begin with the letter S. In the garden, you may have seen a little creature called as a squirrel. Yes, this squirrel, it looks like a little rat. It has a nice fluffy tail, and it has 3 stripes on its back. And it was scampering up the tree. By the time you try to find out where is the squirrel, it's run away onto the tree. So S, squirrel. Okay, next time you go into your garden, remember to check out if there's a squirrel that is scampering up your tree. So S, squirrel. S, snow. Snow. The color of snow is white. And where do you get the snow? You get the snow in cold places. If you have been to Kashmir, you must have played in the snow. America in winter has a lot of snow. And you know, children, when the snow falls from the sky, it is very fluffy. And the houses, when they are covered with snow, they look nice and white. And in winter, in America, children make snowman, a snowman. This snowman is made out of snow, and the snowman has a nice carrot for a nose and a nice red mouth. Then they put a scarf around the neck, then a belt around the waist, and they may put twigs for the arms. So little children love to make snow, play in the snow as well as make a snowman. So children, there's one more thing that you all love to eat, and that is, especially after your meals, what do you like to eat? You love to eat sweets. Now sweets are of different kinds. You get hard-boiled sweets in wrappers like this, or mithai is also called as a sweet. And what do? We go exchanging sweets during Diwali and Durga Puja. So children, today we have learnt the letter S. How we are going to write S? Half a circle and ulta half a circle, like we would write number 8. Then I talked about different things like the ship, the snake, the 4 things that you wear in your feet. Can you tell me that begin with S? Think. Shoes, slippers, socks and sandals. All begin with S. Then 2 things that your mummy wears that begins with S. One is a sari and the other is a salwar kameez. Then what do girls like to wear? Girls like to wear skirts. Yes, you wear a skirt, or even in your school uniform, when you go to school, you will have a skirt and a blouse. The girls will wear that. Then scooter, which your daddy rides, a pair of scissors, spoon. I told you there are different kinds of spoons. One is a teaspoon, one is a soup spoon, one is a tablespoon, and the other is a serving spoon. There are different spoons that we have in the kitchen. When we spoke about shapes, I told you about a sandwich, which has the shape of a triangle. So S, sandwich. Then shells. I told you, you get shells at the Puri beach. And I forgot to tell you that when your mummy does puja, she blows a shank, doesn't she? When she's doing puja, that is also a shell. Okay? And next time you go to the Puri beach, don't forget to collect shells in a polythene bag. Then S, soap. Remember, when you have a bath or you come from outside, you must wash your hands with soap. Then snails. I told you snails you can find in your garden. Then I spoke about the sky and the sun that shines brightly in the sky, all begin with S. Then I spoke about the squirrel with a fluffy tail and 3 lines on its back, if you remember. That's a squirrel. Snow. I told you children love to make a snowman. And how do they make a snowman? They make his head, they make his body, they put branches of twigs for his arms, they put a carrot for his nose, they may put buttons for his eyes, and a nice red lip. Then they may put a scarf around his neck because even the snowman is going to feel cold. So children, even sweets, yes, sweets as I spoke about, which you normally receive during Diwali, or when it's your birthday, what do you do? Don't you distribute sweets in the class? Yes. So there's so many things we saw that begin with S. Now children, if at all you see anything around that begins with S, I forgot to tell you, the sunflower. Oh my God. Yes, even the sunflower begins with S. Okay? So children, I hope you've enjoyed today's class, and I'll see you again sometime later. Bye. Parents, if you like my video and if you really like them very much, please don't forget to press the bell icon and to subscribe, and of course I'd like to hear your comments too. So see you next time. Bye.